Hello BookTube, my name is Elizabeth. As you know, this is Book Babble. Today I'm going to be doing my TBR for the month of April. I have a lot of books that I really need to read, so let's just get into the video. First, I'm going to be a part of a couple of book tours on BookTube. This is a new thing that Grace over at Loving Them Books, I think that's her name, is starting. She's organizing these book tours. Book tours are really popular over in the blogosphere book world, and she's bringing it to BookTube, and I'm just super excited to be a part of the first couple of book tours that she's organizing. The first one is for Dream House. This is by Marzia Bizognin. I don't know how to pronounce her name. She's Italian. If you recognize this name, if it sounds familiar to you, that is because this is from a YouTuber called PewDiePie Marzia, and she is PewDiePie's girlfriend. And she has written this suspense thriller book about a girl who finds her dream home and all these crazy weird things start happening. It's definitely really hard for me to read this at night before I go to bed, which is when I usually read the bulk of my books for the week. But I'm getting through it. I am at 129 pages out of like 210 or something like that. This is not a very big book, so I actually like that, you know, having some big, huge, suspenseful thriller type book. It kind of drags sometimes. That airplane is really loud. Thriller books to be extremely long, so I'm enjoying that this is going to be a short book. I feel like thriller books that are like 300, 400 pages long kind of really drag in the middle. So I am enjoying this, but I'm going to leave my specific thoughts for my review, which is going up on April 5th, and I'm going to have all the information about the blog tour. There's also going to be a giveaway, so don't miss it. The second blog tour that I'm going to be participating in actually takes place in May, but I really want to get a head start, and it is for the second book in the Summoner series. The first book is called The Novice, the second book is called The Inquisition, and that is actually the book that I'm going to be reviewing, but I haven't read this first book yet, so I'm hoping to read both of them this month, but if I can't, I'm definitely going to get to this one. I'm really excited. This has been on my TBR for forever, and I just haven't had the chance to read it yet, and I'm so glad about this book tour because it gives me an excuse to pick it up. This is obviously a high fantasy. It looks so good, and I'm really excited for a male main character. Other than that, I really don't know much about this book. I think it's beautiful. Blue is my favorite color, so it's just like, it has really pretty end pages. Just this blue I think is gorgeous. I love how this book is set up. So I'm super excited about this. My review for this is going up the second week of May. I'm not exactly sure of the date, but again, look out for that. There's going to be a giveaway for that one as well. I have two books that I'm buddy reading this month. The first one is The Looking Glass Wars by Frank Bador. I am reading this with Chloe over the Brunette Bibliophile for our read-along group, Once Upon a Read-Along, and we read a book every single month. We're reading this one to get prepared for the new Through the Looking Glass, Alice in Wonderland movie that's coming out. And again, this is another book that I've had on my TBR for forever, and this is just a really good excuse to pick it up. Chloe has already read this series, I believe, and really enjoyed it. So I'm super excited to get into this. I can't wait. And I just love my Alice in Wonderland retelling, so I'm really excited to see what Frank Bador does with this story. My second buddy read is A Clash of Kings by George R. Martin. This is the second book in the Song of Ice and Fire series, and me and my friend August decided that we were going to read the entire Song of Ice and Fire series this year, and in order to do that, we were going to read half of a book every month. So we read half of Game of Thrones in January, the other half in February, and then I was supposed to read the first half of this in March. I didn't read a page, so I need to read the whole thing in April, and I have my work cut out for me. So what I want to do is I downloaded the audiobook from Audible, and I used that for my credit this month, and so I'm going to try to read and listen back and forth throughout the month. Hopefully I can get through this. It's like 1,000 something pages, like 1,200. Oh no, well, it's about exactly 1,000 pages. So this is going to take me forever, but I'm hoping to read it in little chunks throughout the month, and hopefully I can get to it. I forgot I have two other review books that I need to read from Netgalley. The first one is Flawed by Cecilia Arn, and this is a science fiction dystopian. Someone on Goodreads compared it to 1984, I guess, where you are branded or I guess banished for committing like bad things. I'm guessing like having sex or anything they deem as, you know, something that you shouldn't do, you get branded or something like that. And I think something similar happens to the main character in Flawed. It had a lot of really, really good reviews, and it had a really good handful of negative reviews too on both sides of the spectrum. Like most people had it 4 or 5 stars, and then there was a good chunk of people who had it like 1 and 2 stars. So it's like either you loved it or you hated it. I'm getting the feeling from this type of book, but I'm really excited. I haven't read a dystopia in a little bit, so I'm really hoping that this is going to win me over and I'm on the really love side of this book. The second one is Once Upon a Dream by Liz Braswell. This is the second book in the Twisted Tales series, and the Twisted Tales series I'm really enjoying because you don't have to read the first book or the second book in order to, you know, read the whole series. Each book is a retelling of a Disney fairy tale, and it is published by Disney Hyperion. And what they're basically doing is they're taking the Disney fairy tale, the Disney version of the fairy tale, and they're changing one aspect. So the first one was A Whole New World, and it was an Aladdin retelling, and it was so good. And Once Upon a Dream is a Sleeping Beauty retelling, and I started reading it a little while ago, and I put it down. It just wasn't as nostalgic as A Whole New World was. A Whole New World was almost exactly like the book, except for they changed the one aspect of it, which was Aladdin got the lamp before Jafar did, and it was just so good, and I really connected to it, but I wasn't getting that very Disney nostalgic feel from Once Upon a Dream, which is what I'm expecting from this series because of the first book. So again, I only read like 10%, I think, but I need to finish this because it is a review book for Netgalley, so I'm hoping that it gets better. I'm hoping that I enjoy it, but I'm not really 100% sold on it, but I really need to finish it this month. So now on to the library books that I need to read this month. The first one is Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. This is the last book in the, oh my gosh, what's it called? I don't remember. Why am I having a brain fart? Where's the book? Oh, Shadow and Bone. Okay, this is the third book in the Shadow and Bone series. And I really, really want to read Six of Crows this month as well, but I feel like I need to finish this one before reading this one. Even though you technically don't have to, I really want to, because I think that this one takes place after the events of this one. And even though you can read them out of order, Leigh Bardugo says, I don't know, I just have a thing. I can't do it. So I really want to finish this one so I can read this one this month. And lastly, I want to read Starflight by Melissa Landers. I think this was on my TBR last month or on one of my Friday reads. I've been trying to read this for a while since it came out, and I'm pretty sure I have to return it back to the library this time. I renewed it, but I think this is the last time. So really need to read this. I'm not sure what it's about again. It's a science fiction. That's really all that I know, but it looks really good and I really need to read it, and I don't know why I keep putting it off. But that is everything for my April TBR. Tell me what you guys are reading down in the comments below, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!